Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Red with Forever Red Trucking LLC. I know it's been a long time since my last video, and I want to severely apologize about that. Things have been crazy. I guess I'll start at the beginning. You guys saw a couple of my videos about Decker. I worked for them for a short time, about 6 months, and I just wasn't being utilized. It wasn't really that, because I know the state of freight is, not that great, but I wasn't being utilized. I was sitting around for extra resets and stuff, just, for stupid reasons. Like, there was no reason for it. I'd be in their best freight networks, best freight areas, there in Iowa, and I'd be sitting around waiting for hours with no idea what they're thinking, what they're doing. Sorry, I didn't want my glasses reflecting off the video here, so I took them off. But, so to make a long story short, I worked for another company. I'm not going to say the name. For the last 6 months, or not quite, and they, well, let's just put it this way. They did not follow through with a single thing that I was promised. And I know it's not uncommon for recruiters to lie, but, every time I tried to talk to them about it, I was completely ignored. I was having issues with, again, not being utilized. Well, I'll say this. They did a better job of utilizing my hours and stuff, but I signed up for over the road. I always sign up for over the road. I'm not a local or regional driver or whatever for any of these companies, but I ran regional. Average mileage a week was like 16 to 1800, and I just couldn't survive on it. So I finally got to a boiling point, and well, here I am. So I'm sure you noticed I am in a hotel. I just finished orientation for my new company. I decided that I'm going back to leasing. Company driving is just not the thing for me anymore. All the issues I was having, I could have resolved had I been my own boss. To that extent, it's all those little things, the loads, the time schedules, and all that stuff. That I was having issues with, and they all could have been resolved. Give me 1 second. There we go. A little bit better lighting. All could have been resolved by me being a business owner. So, I made that decision with my fiance. By the way, in case I didn't mention it in my Decker videos, in that time frame that I was off the road after I started dating an old flame from high school, and I didn't want to come back out on the road. I didn't. I don't think I mentioned that in my other video. I didn't want to come back out here. I really did not, because now I had someone to be at home for. But it's just kind of one of those things that I had to do, and it's been rough. And I don't want to keep having to change jobs and stuff like that. I'm not about that life. I do really try not to. It's just, it gets to that boiling point, and I'm just, if I'm getting ignored and don't know where else to turn, then I'll go find a better opportunity. But I digress. So to make a long story short, guys, I'm here at Prime Incorporated, and I know what you're going to say. What the fuck are you thinking? It's Prime. They're so slow, blah, 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 blah. But honestly, guys, it's been an awesome experience. They're extremely organized, unlike my last company, which was extremely disorganized in orientation. I didn't know anything about the company going into it. By the end of orientation, it was horrible. So, big 180 flip on there. Their lease program is solid. I will give you guys that. At least in my opinion. For someone like myself, I prefer percentage leases. I do not think mileage lease should even really be a thing, to be honest with you. Even though I know it's been a thing for years, but I don't agree. I don't think it should be a thing at all. And, so part of the reason that I came to Prime is because I knew that I could do a ton of research. And I know that majority of the disgruntled drivers out there that I've spoken with, heard from, blah, 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 I've heard plenty about them being disgruntled because they think they're not making enough money and all this other stuff. And at the end of the day, it's all about how you manage it. If you're making a $2,000 paycheck and, and you're doing that once every 2 weeks or whatever, don't spend it all. You need to budget. This is a business. This is not just a venture you do to make more money in trucking. And I think maybe I need to drive that point home even harder, guys, because I've seen in the past plenty of comments from negative Nancy's shitting on Leasing. But at the end of the day, you got to have that entrepreneurial gene, I call it. You have to have that drive, that courage, and that willingness to learn each and every single day about what it takes to run a business. Because that's what you're doing. You're not, leasing just to say you made more money. It doesn't work that way, guys. You're not always going to make more money than a company driver because you do have those expenses. Now, to clarify, I'm doing the regular lease. Okay, now some of you guys might think I'm a fool, and I don't want to hear it in the comments. I know I'm not going to own that truck. It's not the goal. My goal is to just run my own business. Okay, that's all I want. I don't care about owning a truck. At some point, I will be custom ordering a truck. I will go ahead and do that for myself. But my personal goals do not include me actually owning the truck, because once I own the truck, I don't want all that extra expense. That's just me. So, please keep that in mind, and please, I hope you guys watched to this far in the video to hear that, because I don't want to see a bunch of comments saying, oh, you'll never own the truck, it's a scam, blah, 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 blah. It's really not. You really got to have that drive to run your own business, know how to manage, not spend every dime you make. It's extremely important, guys. And yes, I know, it's crazy. The biggest adjustment for me is going to be getting used to only being able to do 65. But at the end of the day, I was kind of getting a little bit of trouble. Not like actual trouble, but, with the safety team at the last company I was at, safety person, saying I was speeding too much when I really wasn't, at least in my opinion. But it's probably for the best, because I might have gotten myself into some trouble if I wasn't as careful as I am. But, at the end of the day, it does help miles per gallon, and that right now, with the way that things are going in the country and all that stuff, and the reason that I decided that it's okay to lease for me right now, even with the state of the country, is because freight rates are not as bad as people say. Okay, here's the thing, guys. Back in COVID, freight was booming because everyone was sitting at home ordering shit online. They weren't going out, and the warehouses need to still keep up with that demand. The demand tripled overnight as soon as the lockdown happened. People were just sitting at home. They were ordering groceries. They were ordering things to, make life easier at home, just ordering stuff out of boredom. So the freight rates went skyrocketing upwards, $5, $6, $7 a mile. And we got spoiled to that up until about 2022, when the freight market went swooping downwards and freight became scarce, because also in 2020, a crap ton of people decided to get their CDL and start truck driving, which I think is fantastic. But the problem is right now is that we have more trucks than we have freight. Okay. So the reason, that I'm telling you guys all this is because there's a very good reason why I chose a company like Prime to do a lease right now with. And it's simply for the fact is that they are that large carrier, that they have a gigantic freight network, all 48 states. No matter where I'm at in the country, I can figure something out to go get some freight. May not be the best paying freight, but it is going to be freight, so I can keep it moving, because sitting on a percentage lease is even worse than on a mileage lease, because, it's actually really the same. You're still not making any money. The one caveat there is if you're under dispatch and sitting on a percentage lease, you've already made your money, basically. Once in the example of a load that has too much time, you've already made your money. And if that amount is worth you sitting for a day or whatever, or half a day or whatever the case might be, then just enjoy it, is my advice. Like I said back in my well videos, it was lazy work, for the simple fact is that I was, bringing in $2,000 to the truck multiple times a week, 4 or 5 times a week. But no, not that often, to be honest with you. But I was bringing in 1,000 plus every load, for 3 or 4 loads a week. Sorry about that. And at the end of the day, it added up, because I kept my cost down. And I can do the same thing here at Prime. So I hope you guys are looking forward to seeing me progress. I don't even have a truck yet. I just finished orientation yesterday. I cleared. Everything went smoothly. But there's a long waiting list for a truck. Not specifically what I want, but for a truck in general. So right now, we're probably sitting here till Monday, which is fine. I just got a paycheck from my last carrier. So I'm, financially speaking, I'm good. I'm not stressing out. That's my situation. That's what these videos are depicting, guys. Okay, so don't rip me a new asshole. Yes, sometimes you gotta wait on a truck. Okay, I know the one thing that people love to do is be impatient. But I have the patience, and I know exactly what I'm waiting for. And I'm waiting, hopefully, for a Peterbilt, Kenworth, or Volvo. One of those. I'm sure you guys have already noticed that I grew out my hair. Got to get a haircut tomorrow. Anyway, so that's kind of what's been going on with me, guys. Let me know in the comment section down below. If you're a current Prime driver or thinking about coming to Prime, just let me know in the comment section below. I'm not going to put my driver code out there quite yet, until I get rolling with things and actually have something to tell you guys, a yay or nay. But so far, everyone has been wonderful. Every driver I've spoken to has sung their praises. I've talked to drivers that have been here for, let's see, 14 years, 16 years, 18 years, 7 years. I actually got a chance to speak with Freight Skater on YouTube. If you haven't looked him up, check him out. Freight Skater on YouTube. That's FR8SK8R. I'll put that in the description for you guys so that you can look him up, check his videos out. He's really super informative. I had the opportunity to talk to him on the phone. We've kind of powwowed a little bit, and we're definitely going to try and set up a live interview for you guys, to be able to ask questions of both of us, to be able to, just kind of interact with us. So that'll be really cool. Super looking forward to that. I also have a couple other guys I'm talking to. There's plenty of opportunity at a company this size. My dispatcher, so far, I only had one conversation with the guy so far, but, I'm impressed by the fact that people stay here. Even the dispatchers stay here. They stay with Prime. They're not some newbie college kid who doesn't care, which is a lot of what I've come across in my career. It's just some idiot who doesn't care about the drivers. It's just a job. But not here at Prime. Every single person that's done a presentation, that's, it's in dispatch that I've talked to, from the orientation guy. He's an ex-driver for Prime. You know, it's all just it's not really a revolving door. It's an inward revolution of, no, let me think. It's an inward facing revolving door. In other words, people stay here and move up, you know, or move to a different department, or go there, or go from a driver to a dispatcher, driver to a planner, driver to a something else, you know. So they definitely keep it in-house. Once you join the Prime family, you are family. They will take care of you, and I will try and get you guys some video clips of going through the Millennium Building. It is insane how cool this place is. You know, the cafeteria is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, I think. Huge selection, great food for cheap. You know, they keep it very cheap. Full-size gym, like an actual gymnasium. You know, workout gym. They have just a ton for the drivers. A movie theater, a hair salon. Gonna go get a haircut tomorrow. They have so much. You know, the owner of this company, Robert Lowe, throws so much back at the drivers. I've worked for other big carriers like Knight, Hirschbach, Decker. They don't throw money back at their drivers like that. You know, I mean, and to those companies, it might seem like a waste of money because, you know, things break and drivers do this and that and the other. But Robert Lowe doesn't care. You know, they have a huge company store, huge, you know, with all kinds of cool stuff. They have Odyssey mattresses. They have Garmin GPSs. They have dash cams. They have hub wheel caps and the little spike things. They have cooler freezer combos in there. They have tons and tons and tons of clothes, t-shirts, sweatpants, pants, cargo pants, so work pants, button-ups, hoodies, zip-up jackets, you name it, man. They have boots in there. Carhartt boots are in there in the shop. In the Prime store. They have women's clothing, women's shoes, work shoes, boots, all that good stuff. You know, it's insane. Like, I just walked around there for a little while, and it's nuts how awesome it is to see that. And then on top of everything else, they have a daycare for all their in-house employees' kids. You know, so that I thought was pretty cool because I have a son. Well, I have a stepson now, thanks to my wonderful fiance. I have a soon-to-be stepson, and, you know, I've always enjoyed working with kids and stuff. So, anyway, I guess what I'm saying, guys, is do your own research. If you're listening to this, rolling your eyes, like it's going to be bad for me and all that stuff, I appreciate your concern. But I made up my mind, and I've been impressed. Damn it. Of course, when I'm recording, everyone wants to call me now. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry about the long gap in my videos, but look forward to a lot more content. I'll do a walk around and walk through of my truck once I get it. And we'll catch you then, guys. So thank you so much for watching. Please like the video, comment down below, subscribe to the channel if you like what I do, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.
Under pressure, no more time. Can we make a move?